My name is Mary, and my medicine name is Dreams the Edge. I am a sacred space holder and compassion guide. I also specialize in restorative yoga and sacred psychedelic somatic practices. I am an interesting individual that grew up in a family. I was the youngest of four, and we dealt with a series of challenging things in our family around mental health, addiction, and suicide that set me out on the trajectory to have a very deep healing path. When I was 17, I moved out of home, and then I moved to Mexico when I was 25, and shortly after that, when I was 28, I started my healing process at the Transpersonal Psychotherapy Center in Toronto. It was an experiential process that brought in practices around Gestalt, shamanism, Buddhism, and the breathwork process from Stanislav Grof, the holotropic breathwork. So it was highly experiential, and through that I got to find out how important it was to be engaged in my life and understand more of the unconscious aspects that are determining my experiences in life. When I finished that 3-year training program, I became a yoga teacher and decided to specialize in restorative yoga, which was a perfect way for me to bring out some of those transpersonal lessons, those experiences that helped me learn so much about myself. Restorative yoga is this really beautiful form of yoga that is very spacious, very slow, and gave me opportunities to bring in transpersonal exercises for myself to learn about myself, but as I started to teach more, for me to give other people opportunities to learn who they were and ways that they can activate more agency in their life. I'm also feeling that my relevance to this station is I bring a lot of experience in non-ordinary states, and that I have gifts to offer around the ability for people to feel safe, understood, and be able to express their agency. I think that we're dealing with a mental health epidemic here, and I feel the cause to actually take a stand and make a change in the world by offering those things that I learned that really worked for myself. My personal experience with psychedelics started at a very early age, about 35 years ago. When I was a teenager, I had exposure to some of the more common ones like cannabis, LSD, magic mushrooms. And then later in my 30s, I was able to experience some more of those other more rave culture substances like MDMA, ketamine. And it wasn't until my early 40s that I started to turn my interest in psychedelics more to the ceremonial, or what could be considered spiritual medicines such as ayahuasca, DMT, 5-MeO-DMT. Fortunately, I had very good experiences in most cases. Anything that was challenging, I had the opportunity to work through that with skillful supports and mentors. And I still work with those medicines today. I am a firm believer that we never stop learning. The work that I've done to be where I am right now has been incredibly challenging and rewarding. And through that experience, I have developed a sense of gratitude for my life. I have an understanding of why being here is a gift. And when I look around the world, I'm seeing that there's many challenges in the world around people actually realizing that their life is a gift. The mind, body, and spirit triune perspective is a very common one taught in yoga. I like to add a fourth element in there, emotions, because it feels like when I'm working with an individual, the 4 of those actually help to really offer a lens to work with individuals. What I know about those 3 or 4 categories is they're not independent, but they actually affect one another. Just like if I have stressful thoughts, I can get a stomach ache in my body. If that's chronic, I can start to feel my emotions get depressed. And when all those things happen, my spirit is low. So one affects the other. And in this dynamic interchange between those 4, you can call them elements or angles to understand ourselves, If we change one part of those, like say for the spirit, if I start to meditate more, I will help reduce the stress in my body, I will help to regulate the emotions that I feel, and what's that third one? And in my mind, it helps me to feel more clear so that I can have more efficient thought processes. So coming to one of my somatic embodied yoga restorative practices as you work through the ketamine journey process gives you an opportunity to land in yourself and ground in yourself. I specifically create these sessions in a way that allow you to move inwards in a safe way and explore some of the feelings and sensations that you're having in the present moment. The idea that you might get reactivated into the experience that you had with the journey. I have understood over the years of working with these kinds of states how important it is to titrate that experience, to not invite big experiences and how to language that